deliberate to allow for, focus, to allow the mentee institution to say, by the end of the 3 years, I should have developed the capacity of my faculty to create and design course outlines and curriculums that are maybe, for example, that are inclusive of students with development, what do you call it, disability needs, students who have some disabilities in learning, or maybe vision impairments, for example, or develop curriculum that incorporates critical thinking, that incorporates entrepreneurship, regardless of the course that I'm working on, right? And then they say, okay, we would like to learn how 10 other institutions are doing this, and then come and create it for ourselves. So now I'm going to just take a pause, stop sharing my screen, if it can pop out. Take a pause, stop sharing my screen, and then Vanessa will help us. I can't stop sharing my screen. Vanessa, can you please help me stop sharing my screen? Okay, there we go. Thank you. So we're going to take a pause and hear more from the individual institutions that are in the mentorship program currently. Please, as you hear from them, you may, as you hear about their needs, their context, their institutions, and what they are trying to build, you can begin thinking about ways that you yourself can support as a mentor, as a consultant in the education collaborative, in helping these institutions achieve the goals that they are setting for the next 3 years. All right, thank you very much. Yes, so the first institution is Burkina Institute of Technology in Burkina Faso.
Talent is equally spread around the world. No matter where you are, young people are talented. What is missing is access to education and opportunities. The number of young people is quite high, very high. So it means education is needed, especially high education, or access to high education is missing.
We opened 2018 after only 1 year of construction and 1 year of developing a completely new curriculum. So we are very proud about that. The other next step is that we want to build dorms, that we can enable students from the whole country to come to Koudougou. At the moment we have 107 students. Next year we will accept another 120, and in 10 years we will be 1,000. Big challenge, but I think a big impact.
So the idea behind is that we want to help the people and the students to develop some entrepreneurial ideas.
My hope is that the BIT will be the leading university in Burkina Faso, why not West Africa? And that we develop like the cutting edge education system, and a lot of other universities will follow. And I see our young students as entrepreneurs who are willing to take risks and responsibility for their country, and going to be role models for all the young generation.
It is the mark of the future. It's full of young people. And if we give opportunities to these young people, then the world will benefit from their creativity, for sure. The next Bill Gates, the next Tesla, I'm totally convinced is coming from Africa.
ASHESI is a very big role model for us. Creating our curriculum 3 years ago with TUM Technical University Munich, ASHESI was one of our benchmark universities. And since then, as I said at the beginning, ASHESI is a role model for us. We share the same vision and values. For example, we want to educate ethical leaders. We want to have an active role in the society. We are very globally minded. And reading all the words Patrick Avour mentioned about entrepreneurship, I even thought I have a déjà vu, because we really share the same values. That's why we wanted to be a part, and we think together this ASHESI BAT is even stronger. And we also want them to share our knowledge with other universities in Burkina Faso and want to make them stronger. I think we can contribute because, as I said earlier, we have a very modern curriculum. Our curriculum is based on 2/3 subject knowledge and based on 1/3 entrepreneurial and business knowledge. I think the network will benefit from our insights, and we really want to share our innovations and our experiences. So this will help our network. In the beginning, on 3 main areas. One area is the career development service, which is very important for us because our aim is that really 100% of our graduates will have jobs right after their graduation. And I think to develop a very strong service is very, very important. And I think we can learn a lot from ASHESI in this field. Also, we want to work together in the field of research. We are, to be honest, not very strong in the topic of research at the moment. So having like this cooperation will help us a lot. And I think we can work together in certain areas. And as you know, as we discussed earlier, the focus of networking will be very important for this topic. And the third one will be the topic fundraising. Where I also think ASHESI is really, really great, and we can learn a lot from ASHESI and then give this knowledge also to other partners.
Okay, so as you just heard, areas such as research, right? As new higher education institutions come up, one of the biggest areas is developing the capability and the capacity to build a research culture, right? Focusing in maybe if it's in development or if in teaching and learning or just unique areas of interest to faculty. Now, several institutions who are already existing on the continent have really built that capacity. And the question is, how do we support these new institutions and build collaborations across various institutions and the capacities within the institutions to build, to produce the research that we need for our continent, right? Research that would influence development agencies, that would influence government policies, and actually really show evidence on the ground. Okay, so next we are going to learn a bit more about the next institution, that is Palm Institute in Ghana.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Well, Vanessa sets that up. So Palm Institute, you hear, is a small liberal arts university college in Ghana, in Accra. And the Education Collaborative began engaging Palm Institute back in 2000 and this is 2021. So back in 2020, 2007, when we began developing the Education Collaborative initiative. And Palm became formally a mentee institution being supported initially by ASHESI University and then consequently by other contributors from other universities on the continent. Okay, I think Vanessa is ready now.
The vision for Palm was conceived as a result of my experiences growing up here in Ghana. and going to school and working in the United States. I was impressed by what I saw in the colleges that I attended in the US. There was a lot of focus on critical thinking, a lot of focus on writing, speaking, and preparing the individual student for career success. And that made me start thinking about starting a college in Ghana, because I became convinced that the kind of education we have here has everything to do with the kind of graduates that we produce. So that got me on the trajectory of starting a liberal arts college in Ghana. PALM was established in 2012 with 11 students. Over the past several years, we have graduated about 120 students who are working in industry. Some have continued to pursue higher education and other endeavors. We are currently working on adding 4 more programs in business administration and computer sciences. PALM is part of the Education Collaborative because we believe in the change that the collaborative is seeking to bring to the continent as far as quality higher education is concerned and the transformation of higher education in Africa. We decided to join the mentorship program because as a young institution, we strongly believe that PALM will benefit from consistent mentorship from an institution like ASHESI that has best practices in place. I believe that after PALM has, gone through the mentorship program and has been established, we can also be in a position to mentor other institutions and help them in their quest to provide quality higher education in Africa. As a university college, we have basically 3 goals that drive education here. We hope that after 4 years, our graduates will be placed in industry, that they will be able to study our own businesses or be able to continue to graduate school, or at least do 2 out of the 3. Yeah, so as we receive, mentorship from ASHESI and other institutions in the collaborative, we believe it will enhance our quality of teaching, programming, and the services that we provide to our students in terms of academics and careers. So we hope that, in the next 3 years, we'll be able to set up, the systems that we have in a more robust manner so that it will be a benefit to our students, faculty, and staff, and the wider, PALM community.
Okay, we're back. Thank you. Thank you so much about that. Okay, so I noticed there's a question posted on Woover about the mentorship that says, let me just read it. What are some challenges encountered during institutional mentoring, and what are some recommended approaches? So I'm going to answer this based on what we have seen, from our experience in the Education Collaborative in developing this mentorship program. One of the main things really is fit, right? It's the fit. Many times it's easy to fall into the copy and paste mode, right, during mentorship, where institutions really just want what the mentor institution has, exactly what it is. And so our challenge, the challenge in education collaborative that we try to address is to say, learn from, you get the models and the blueprints from 2, 3, 4 different institutions, some in your context, some slightly out of your context, so that you, the mentee institution yourself, would then, based on all of the different models you're looking at, devise and design, working closely with a support system, what fits and works for your own system. That allows for ownership, because then it's not a copy and paste, right, for you. So you know that you own it, you created it, you designed it, even though you had help doing it. And it's also based on several different models that have worked and have been successful. So that's the answer to that question. Next, we will we'll hear more about the third institution. That's African Development University in Niger, Niamey, Niger. African Development University is the one institution that has been in the mentorship program the longest. ADU joined the mentorship program back in 2008, I believe, when they visited ASHESI University and attended the Education Collaborative convening that year.
Le monde a changé et les choses ne sont plus les mêmes. En tant que jeune, il est important que j'obtienne une éducation qui me prépare non seulement pour aujourd'hui, mais aussi pour l'avenir. Je m'appelle Nadia et bienvenue à African Development University. Avec l'enseignement de qualité, je sais que je suis prête à saisir toutes les opportunités d'aujourd'hui, mais aussi celles du futur.
Je suis Faisal. J'ai rejoint AAU pour suivre ma passion et devenir entrepreneur. J'ai rejoint une famille, fait les plus belles rencontres de ma vie et voyager à travers le monde.
Fondé sur le modèle de grandes universités telles que Harvard University aux États-Unis et ASHESI University au Ghana, à AAU, vous êtes certain d'obtenir une éducation à l'américaine.
La diversité des cultures et des nationalités fait en grande partie que AAU est l'université qui prône la formation des jeunes leaders africains éthiques.
For me, the sense of communication that we have and the bonds of friendship that we share, that is what stand out for a lot of students. At ADU, I know I'm never alone. I'm part of a family that loves, supports, and cares for me. Voici ADU. Welcome to the future.
Started as entrepreneurs, innovators, and problem solvers, but I have to say the collaborative helped us in a way that is so critical by bringing the expertise that we lacked back then and made us just go around all the big issues that you can find in your entrepreneurial journey in education. One of the biggest things that happened to us is that ASHESI Collaborative helped us redefine our curriculum by grounding it in our African traditions while collecting the best practices in the world. And today, our students are so happy with the block system we put in place that is so particular to our situation. It's not really per se like a duplication of what ASHESI is doing. It's more like providing expertise and assistance to help you think about your own situation, your own issues, your own challenges, and co-design, co-create solutions that work for you. Lots of institutions that want to engage in assisting, want to drive the agenda, want to influence the curriculum, the organization. I think one of the things that I really appreciate about the collaborative is the fact that they approach us as partners and not as like receivers of some help and expertise. There's a lot of respect and a lot of consideration in the approach. So the benefits are, I cannot name all of them here in this video, but this one, for instance, is one of the best. And of course, we're working together for our entrepreneurial ecosystem, coaching our executive team, defining our strategic plan for the next 5 years. Francophone Africa in general is lagging behind in terms of quality of education if you compare to the Anglophone part of the continent, and the Sahel region particularly. So what we would like to do is to not wait to be like ASHESI University. Use the positive things that we've got today to start sharing with other institutions in Francophone Africa. We like to act to bridge for ASHESI University between the Anglophone Africa and the Francophone Africa. So this is one of the biggest projects that we have, basically improving the quality of education in Francophone Africa by supporting the institutions the way ASHESI supported us on one hand, and on the other hand, what we are planning to do is to work with the public sector in education, partnering with them so that we can impact the public universities. During the COVID situation, we worked with the Ministry of Niger to bring digital technologies in education, the higher education, the MOOCs, Moodle, and we're talking about 60,000 students here. Compared to the number of students we have at AAU, you can see that the impact is just growing thousands of folds. So these are the two key things that we envision in the future, giving back as we receive, and that together we understand that if we are fully to change higher education in Africa, we have to work together. We can never do it alone. I will encourage every institution with big dreams about education in Africa to join the collaborative.
Sorry. Okay, so that was Kat, founder for African Development University, and as he said, ADU has been, engaged in the education collaborative since 2018, not 2008, 2018, and Palm also began engaging from 2017. Okay, so I want to open the floor right now for just a brief open forum. If there are questions, comments, contributions, maybe some clarifications on how we are looking at this program of pairing institutions in mentorship, please do put your hand up, and you may put your hand up and ask. I'm muted. Are there any, no, none at all? If not, I can put us in brief breakout rooms to get more in depth so that the questions are directed specifically at the institutions. Maybe learn a bit more about their context, a bit more detail about their needs, a bit more information about how you might support, or maybe if you have some other contacts within your network that will be able to support through the Education Collaborative Network, we will provide that opportunity briefly at the end in the chat for you to do that. So I'm going to just quickly set up breakout rooms, 3 rooms. Assign 3 rooms here to get you to join. One will be for African Development University in room 1. Palm Institute will be in room 2, and then Burkina Institute of Technology will be in room 3. Susan, are you still on? Oh, there you go.
Yes, I'm still there.
Yes, I couldn't find you. All right. So there'll be a little bit of shuffling when you enter the room. So please give it a minute for me to
Okay. In case it doesn't work, I will ask you after a minute.
Yes. All right. So I'm just going to open the rooms. There are 3 rooms, but I'm going to still be moving around in the rooms.
And I'm ever ready to engage and answer questions. So. So Susan, Sandra, how do you say this name? Ankuma, is it? Hi, Mr. Ankuma. Oh no, it's
Sarumi.
Abdurrahman.
Yes, sir. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you, Abdul?
Very well, very well. Good to hear your intro as well. It was so nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Just a minute, please. I'll join you shortly.
No problem. No problem. So yeah, I'm here. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. As you heard on the radio, on the video, sorry. We are a very small liberal arts university with a focus on educating ethical leaders. We have very good facilities, I would say, and we are dedicated to doing a good job. And I'm working very hard to bring in more students this September. So I'm all ears. If you have any questions, if you have any ideas, I'll be more than happy to hear them, or just any thoughts. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
I just want to know why the focus on only liberal arts.
So thank you for your question. Let me clarify that the focus is not just on liberal arts. The liberal arts component has to do with the core curriculum. So we have other majors that will be adding, like business administration and computer science. We currently have the business information technology program. So the liberal arts, concept in our case, and I believe it is the same with ASHESI and other universities, is a core curriculum. So when students enroll, there are general education courses that all the students are required to take. And at the same time, are able to choose and maintain their majors. So in a couple of years, we may have students who show up, get admitted into the college, and they choose to specialize in business administration, business information technology, or computer science, as in software engineering, network and security, or data management and analytics. So they have the option to pursue their tracks. but then they also are required. And the liberal arts courses are usually courses that are designed to ensure that the students are well-rounded and they can write very well, they can think very well, they can speak very well, they can do research, that they are entrenched in activities and courses that prepare them for industry. So, for instance, most liberal arts colleges have a focus on career services. They have a strong focus on academic services. They have a strong focus on building bridges between industry and the college, whilst they prepare the students to perform in those areas that they have signed up for. Now, I have to say that there are typical liberal arts universities in places like the US that don't necessarily specialize in business, information technology, or in computer science, but that they generally educate the students. So they take courses in history, they take courses in philosophy, they take courses in English, and just a broad spectrum of studies. And that is a typical liberal arts focus, college. But in our case, and as I said, the case of other universities that I know, the focus is to merge the liberal arts with business, science, and technology. So that is what we're doing here at Paul.
That's great.
Thank you.
And I think it is because the students will have an idea of different courses before they choose main course they want or they want to pursue.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, time is not up. No, time is actually not up. It was an automatic timer. I'm just going to put you right back into the rooms, if that's okay.
Oh, okay.
I know you were. Yeah. Just give me a moment, please. And when I put you back, you have about 5 more minutes. Okay.
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 Yeah, if you have any questions or any thoughts, as Rose said, we have some 5 minutes. Yep. Susan, you were sharing a thought before we went off. So if you want to continue talking and telling us what you were thinking.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Okay. So for me, my name is Sandra, and I'm a first-year student of ASHESI. but I decided to attend the collaborative. So with your liberal arts program, as a student, I find it really helpful because, for instance, for me, when you see, ASHESI also has that kind of system that for first years, I mean, we do liberal arts courses such that when you get to second year, before you can choose which actual course you want, and it's really gives us the opportunity to discover ourselves and choose upon our experiences which course would really that we are really interested in. And for me like this, I'll be changing my course because I applied for MI, but because I of the first semester and my experiences, I want to change to computer science, and actually allows us to do that, because from senior high school level you don't really get the exposure. All right, you don't have anyone who advised you on the courses to take, and if you take this course, how is the course like and stuff. So when you begin to experience how the university system is and get more knowledge through the liberal arts courses, then you can really choose your path. So I think it's really good.
Thank you, Sandra. That's exactly why the liberal arts is important. It gives you the option to, get to rediscover yourself and, take up courses that open your mind up and actually broadens your horizons. So like you said, at Paul, the first 2 semesters of the freshman year and partly into the sophomore year, the students take these liberal arts courses. And like you said, sometimes you can discover that the path I have chosen is really not what, I really want to do. And it gives you the option to change your major, to computer science like you're doing, or to business administration, or to, the BIT. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I think it puts things in perspective for all of us. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Peter.
Hi, it's Abdullah, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, cool.
Just just to come to the some specific part of the mentorship program with ASHESI. I just wanted for you to come back on how you started the discussion with ASHESI, and then how the mentorship program was designed, and how the collaboration is going on at the moment. I mean, a little bit of detail around that, and what is the cost for your institution to be in that mentorship program, and also the benefit of it. Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much. That's a loaded question. But yeah, so my relationship with ASHESI goes way back. I met Patrick, I think 2006 or 2007, when I first conceived the vision to set up a liberal arts college. And I came back from the US and visited him. And then he eventually came back to the US to speak. And that is how I got connected to ASHESI. In terms of cost, because we are running out of time, I'll touch on a few things. In terms of cost, we haven't been asked to pay anything for the mentorship program. So yeah, and so far it has been good. We have had several meetings and discussed very pertinent issues that are very significant to our growth and our strategy. So we actually had to put a proposal together and send to ASHESI for them to review it. And then a form was sent to us for us to complete the form and share our 3-year plan and what we envision to accomplish within that.
about a bit more about the institutions, ask some more questions to get a bit more in depth about what you're working on, etc. Was there maybe someone was in the middle of answering one last question or asking one last question in one of the rooms, please?
Recording in progress.
You can go ahead and maybe ask that question here and then go ahead and answer it. Susan?
Yeah, we exchanged email address, so that's very nice.
Okay.
we will continue discussing thanks to Samson.
That's great. That's great. All right. Okay, how about ADU's room and Palm Institute's room?
Yeah, there was a loaded question from Abdullahi, and I think it was about how we got involved with ASHESI and the collaborative, whether the cost of being mentored and what the benefits are. It was a very loaded question, so I started answering it, and I'm willing to engage him more
later. Okay.
Yeah.
I can also provide a bit more information about the last two questions, so you can connect and share about the first question. So the cost of being mentored really is that the institution will be very, very committed to the the mentorship process, and then also will put up the systems and structures to ensure the system, whatever is built during that period is sustained. So for example, if we're working on developing, say, your career unit, right? Employability structures for your university, you are definitely going to need a team for the employability who are in charge of employability. Education Collaborative would not cover the salaries of your team members, for example, right? So the institution has to show that they have, figured out how to raise the money, have the funding ready. If they need help to figure out, okay, where are some of the areas what are some of the capacities we can build to help us continue to raise funds. But the institution needs to at least show that you have a plan, a sustainable plan to have this team continue on the work, right? Because all of the areas of mentorship, institutions have to assign leads to for continuity. So that's one of the ways, right? That institution contributes to the cost of mentorship. And the second one being about the benefits, as I had shared earlier in my slides, there is the funding. So there's actually a dedicated funding that is used to cover the specific systems that are being built. And by that, I mean, if there are mentors supporting, it helps to cover their hours, costs of their hours, or their mentorship fees or the consultancy fees. If there are programs that are being developed, we support to cover the cost of some of that so that we can begin to develop frameworks that can be shared with other institutions as well, etc. So that's some of the ways that the institutions benefit, as well as during that period, contributing and mentoring others in their own country and in their own region as well. The recording for this video, for this session, will definitely be shared. And so will definitely be shared. And so you may, continue to interact. Please do go ahead and put your email addresses in the chat box to be, to continue connecting. Also, remember that the Woover app remains open for the next 3 months after this. Can Ofi please paste the link to show interest in our chat box for us? You may go ahead and show interest in supporting institutions in our mentorship program. You may do that through the link that is being posted in the chat box. I don't see the link in the chat box. Is it in there now? Perfect. So if you see the bit.ly link there, if you click on it, you can express interest in supporting some of these institutions in different areas: career development, communications, executive coaching, entrepreneurship ecosystems development, faculty development and coaching, staff development, or maybe you want to learn more about the mentorship program. Please don't hesitate to send an email to the Education Collaborative. This brings us to the end of this session. Are there any further comments, contributions, questions before we close out?
Before we close out, I want to make a big thank you to you, Rose. It's a pleasure to work with you. It's a pleasure to be part of ASHESI and be connected and get so much knowledge. So I really thank you.
Same here. Really, thank you to the whole team for organizing this amazing week of the collaborative, for the app that we had to learn, and everything else. Really, I think the project team should be congratulated for the awesome job they did this week. Thank you. And thank you, Rose, for your leadership.
Yes. Awesome work, Rose, and the team. Thank you so much. And as always, if there is anything we can do, let us know. We'll be more than happy to provide our help and small services. Yes, thank you.
Thank you too. All right. Have a great day, everyone. Happy weekend.
Rose, sorry, this is my first time as well. I'd like to thank you and Mr. Patrick, and hopefully next year I'll join. I've learned a lot as a beginner, and I hope next year will be much better than this. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Definitely.
Thank you.
And you don't have to wait till June next year. We engage throughout the year.
Hello.
We engage throughout the year, so you don't have to wait.
I've been trying to meet Patrick one-on-one. I'm sure he's listening to us. So if you find time for me, please, Rose.
Okay, all right.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And Mr. Peter, I'll get in touch. Thank you so much. And you and the name again, Susan, right?
Yes.
Susan, we have the same name, B-I-T.
Ah, very interesting.
Recording stopped.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Bye. Thank
Recording
you.
in progress.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.